The town of Belle Harbor sat like a jewel between the cliffs and the sea, a place where luxury yachts gleamed brighter than the sun, and wealth flowed like the tides. Tourists saw only the polished wood of the boardwalks, the designer stores, and the elegant villas on the hill. But on the far end of the harbor, tucked behind a cluster of weathered fishing sheds, stood a modest shack with peeling paint and a faded sign. Ellis Marine Repairs. Honest work, fair price. That shack was home to Tom Ellis, a widowed father, and local handyman who could fix just about anything with an engine. He wasn't rich, didn't own fancy tools, or wear a uniform. But what Tom did have was a sharp mind, a steady hand, and a heart devoted entirely to one person, his daughter, Lily, 15 years old. Lily had her father's bright eyes and her late mother's stubborn spirit. She was clever, curious, and already better at diagnosing engine sounds than most certified mechanics in town. Together, they spent their days fixing cracked propellers, corroded engines, and the odd motorbike when money was tight. One breezy afternoon, the silence outside the workshop was broken by the low purr of a luxury car. A sleek black Bentley rolled to a stop on the gravel, scattering dust as it came to a halt. From it stepped a tall, poised woman in designer sunglasses and a pearl-white pantsuit that probably cost more than Tom made in 6 months. Her heels clicked sharply against the dock as she approached, followed by 2 assistants with clipboards and smug expressions. Tom stood from under a small boat he'd been working on and wiped his hands on an oil-stained rag. Greater than can I help? You, ma'am? The woman didn't answer at first. She just looked around with an air of amused disbelief, her nose wrinkling slightly at the smell of salt and engine grease. Greater than so, this is where you work, she said finally. Charming, in a post-apocalyptic kind of way. Tom raised an eyebrow. You must be lost. Greater than oh, I'm exactly where I need to be, she replied, lifting her sunglasses. Her icy blue eyes narrowed. I'm Veronica Langston. Tom stiffened slightly. Everyone in Belle Harbor knew that name. The Langston fortune funded half the marina, 3 engineering firms, and several private yachts, including the famed Cursed Aquadora, a vessel as beautiful as it was broken. Rumor had it that 30 engineers had tried and failed to fix the Aquadora. Its engines would seize, its power systems would glitch, and its cutting-edge design betrayed even the best experts. Some whispered the yacht was others said it was an over-engineered monstrosity. Veronica snapped her fingers, and one of her assistants unrolled a blueprint onto the hood of Tom's truck. Here's the deal. This is the Aquadora state-of-the-art yacht, built with the most advanced marine technology available. Costs more than this whole neighborhood. Tom nodded politely, studying the layout. Greater than. It hasn't moved in over 2 years, she continued. I've hired 30 engineers, some from Germany, some from Japan, the best in the world. She leaned in, her voice sharper now. Greater than, and they all failed. Greater than, so why are you here? Tom asked. Veronica smiled thinly. Because someone at the marina said you fix things others can't. A fisherman, I think. What's his name? Duke. Tom chuckled. That old man, he talks too much. Greater than well, I like a challenge, she said, crossing her arms. So here's mine. If you're so smart, then fix my boat. You've got 1 week. Greater than, and if I don't. Greater than you'll never get a repair job in this town again. I'll make sure of it. Tom met her gaze steadily, not intimidated. What do I get if I fix it? Veronica smirked. $10,000. That should be a fortune in your world. Tom looked down at Lily, who stood silently by his side, her fingers wrapped around a small wrench. Her eyes were wide with uncertainty. He reached down and squeezed her hand. Greater than, we'll take it, he said. Veronica raised an eyebrow. We, asterisk, greater than my daughter and I. She's my assistant, and sharper than most of those engineers you mentioned. Asterisk Veronica laughed dryly. How quaint. I'll have my assistant send over the digital but let me be clear. If you even so much as scratch the Aquadora, I'll sue you into the ground. Asterisk with that, she turned and left, her heels clacking on the dock like gunshots. The Bentley purred away, leaving a cloud of expensive perfume and cold laughter behind. That night, Tom and Lily huddled around their rickety dining table, which doubled as a blueprint station. The screen of Lily's school laptop flickered slightly as they pulled up the yacht's schematics. Asterisk, Tom muttered. This boat is ... beautiful, but overcomplicated. Asterisk, Lily frowned. Look here, Papa. These cooling pipes feed into a secondary chamber that links to the main combustion vent. Asterisk, Tom leaned closer. That shouldn't be there. It's feeding heat back into the system. That could cause the whole engine to fail under pressure. Asterisk, Lily's eyes lit up. So maybe all those engineers were fixing the engine itself, when the problem was this heat feedback loop. Asterisk, Tom grinned. Exactly. Asterisk, they spent the next few nights building a model from cardboard, plastic tubing, and wires salvaged from old radios. Tom mapped the pressure flow, while Lily measured thermal expansion using a borrowed thermometer. Asterisk, on day 3, Tom called Veronica's office to request access to the actual yacht to confirm their theory. Asterisk, the reply was cold. Asterisk, Mr. Ellis. Madam Langston doesn't allow unaccredited hands near her yacht. Continue your theoretical hobby from afar. Asterisk, Tom shook his head. No trust in the working man. Asterisk still, he and Lily pushed forward. They recreated the entire engine setup using 3D software and built simulations. Tom even tested temperature control by boiling water in copper pipes to mirror the coolant system. Asterisk, by day 5, he was sure. The issue wasn't the parts. It was the design. A loop in the cooling system caused hot air to be trapped and pushed back into the engine, no matter how new or advanced the hardware. Asterisk, Lily asked, so if they just rerouted that one loop? Asterisk, Tom nodded. The engine would breathe again. By day 6, word started spreading at the harbor. That dock guy's trying to fix the Aquadora. Asterisk, fishermen, mechanics, even engineers started dropping by, pretending to need tools, just to peek at what Tom was working on. Asterisk, Veronica's chief engineer, a tired man named Bernard, showed up unannounced that night, curious about Tom's strange reputation. Tom didn't hide anything. He showed him the model, the math, and the solution. Asterisk, Bernard stared in disbelief. If this is right, then we've all been wasting our time. He left without a word. Tom and Lily watched the stars that night, lying on the roof of their workshop. She rested her head on his chest and whispered, "Do you think she even let us try?" Asterisk, Tom stroked her hair. "We don't need permission. We need proof." Asterisk, on the morning of the 7th day, the sun cast a golden glow over the Bell Harbor Marina. The usually quiet docks were alive with whispers and cell phones, all trained on one modest figure walking toward the infamous yacht Aquadora. Tom Ellis, with his daughter Lily at his side, carrying a stack of blueprints and a toolbox with missing handles. Asterisk, at the edge of the pier stood Veronica Langston, arms crossed, sunglasses on, flanked by security and engineers. Asterisk, greater than I assume, this is the moment you prove me wrong, she said with a smirk. Tom calmly handed her a slim folder. Greater than no. Need to touch the yacht. Everything is here. Diagrams, pressure analysis, and a solution that will get your boat running smoother than ever. Asterisk, Veronica raised an eyebrow. You think I'll take your word over 30 engineers? Asterisk greater than no, Tom said. I expect you to test it. Behind her, Bernard, her lead engineer, cleared his throat awkwardly. Greater than Madam Rye, ran the simulation last night, based on Mr. Ellis's model. It worked. Asterisk. The murmurs grew louder. Veronica's lips tightened. She hated being wrong, especially in public. Asterisk greater than fine, she snapped. Make the changes, but if it fails, the offer's off. Asterisk. Tom didn't flinch. He simply nodded. Asterisk. For the next few hours, Bernard's team followed Tom's simple but precise instructions. Reroute the secondary cooling loop, add an exhaust bypass valve, and recalibrate the engine's heat dispersal system. The changes cost less than $1,000. It was almost laughable. Asterisk. And then, at exactly 3:47 p.m., the Aquadora's engine roared to life. Asterisk. Not just noise, but clean, powerful, stable motion. The massive yacht backed away from the dock for the first time in 2 years. Gliding like a beast finally awakened. Asterisk. Cheers erupted from onlookers. Fishermen clapped. Mechanics stared in disbelief. Veronica Langston stood in stunned silence. Greater than how? How did you figure that out? She asked. Tom looked at Lily and smiled. Greater than. I listened to the engine, not the ego. Asterisk. There was a long pause. Then Veronica slowly extended her hand. Greater than. You've done what no one else could. The money is yours. Tom hesitated. Greater than, and the scholarship for my daughter. Asterisk. Veronica blinked. Excuse me. Asterisk. Greater than that was my real price. She's smarter than me, and she deserves a chance I never had. Asterisk. Veronica looked at Lily, the girl who'd helped build the models, run the numbers, and stood by her father, every step of the way. Slowly, she nodded. Asterisk. Greater than done. Full tuition. Any university of her choice. Asterisk. Lily's eyes filled with tears. Really, Papa? Tom hugged her tightly. Greater than. You earned it, sweetheart.